Minecraft is an enormous and expansive game, built on surprisingly simple mechanics. But the more you poke at it, the more complex things can become. If you need help understanding this deceitfully simple game, then you've come to the right place. I'm William Strife, and welcome to the Minecraft Guide. Grab your sword, strap on your armor, and load up with supplies, because it's time to tackle the Nether. In Minecraft, the Nether is an extra-dimensional plane of existence that's best described as a blocky, voxel version of the underworld. Across its dark, mostly red and black landscape are a series of dangers, pitfalls, enemies, and treasures for those who successfully brave them. Due to its dangerous nature, it's important to go in prepared, but before you can even do that, you have to gain access to the dimension by either finding or building a portal. Portals to the Nether come in two forms, ruined or player-made. Across the mostly green and verdant landscape of Minecraft, there will occasionally be what amount to collapsed or ruined portals that can spawn just about anywhere in the world, including on top of mountains, in caves, and even underwater. These ruined portals commonly have gold left around them that was once used as a decoration, as well as a loot chest with mostly gold equipment. Aside of that though, the portal itself will always be broken and non-functional, thus needing repair. No matter if you find and fix a broken portal or build your own from scratch, three things are necessary to get the job done: a diamond pickaxe, obsidian, and flint and steel. Obsidian is an extremely hard block that's created when lava source blocks are cooled by water. The resultant obsidian is highly blast-proof and can only be mined with a diamond pickaxe or better. To make a basic nether portal from scratch, at least 10 obsidian is necessary, as a portal has to be at least a 4-block wide, 5-block tall ring of obsidian with the corners missing. That's just the minimum height and width though, as portals can be up to 23 by 23 blocks, or any configuration between the minimum and the maximum dimensions. No matter if you build from scratch or repair a ruined portal, the next step is to light the inner ring on fire with a flint and steel to activate it. Then, stand in the new wubbing purple it creates and wait for the dimensional jump to happen. On the other side, you'll find yourself in the hot, burning landscape of the Nether, which is composed of 5 distinct biomes with various blocks, resources, plants, mobs, and other quirks. Additional ruin portals can also spawn in the landscape as well, with everything about them being the same, save the stone surrounding them. Before you go searching for any spoils though, you need to look out for the various hostile mobs that can spawn across the landscape. To start are standard skeletons and endermen, which are no different from those found in the overworld. Second are piglins, who are actively aggressive, but you can fool into ignoring you by wearing any type of gold armor. However, they love gold so much, they'll hunt you down if you try to mine any sort of gold around them. They also have a zombified counterpart, which are passive-aggressive, meaning they won't attack you so long as you don't attack them. Fourth are hoglins, a type of large tusked pig that serves as a source of food in the unforgiving landscape. There are also magma cubes, which are just hotter versions of the annoying green slimes from the overworld. Finally, there are ghasts, which are moaning floating jellyfish that will screech and hurl fireballs at you, which can destroy the landscape. In addition to all of these hostile mobs, there are also passive striders that walk on lava. Under the right circumstances, you can ride them to get across the lava oceans present across most of the landscape. That is more or less everything for threats and hostile creatures, but a lot of details have been left out. If you want more information, be certain to check out the Nether Mob Guide in the playlist and description down below. Now, past the baddies you'll stab, shoot, and dodge, the reason to head to the Nether is for resources. The impetus for making an expedition to the fiery underworld is summed up in just a bit more than a handful of items: glowstone, quartz, gold, ancient debris, nether wart, blaze rods, and wither skulls. These are the main spoils held by the denizens of and embedded in the fiery landscape. We'll cover them all, but the fine details of finding them are in separate, in-depth videos. First is glowstone, which, just as the name implies, is a luminescent stone that emits light. You can find this block hanging from ceilings no matter where you are in the Nether. Second is nether quartz. This ore spawns exclusively in the reddish stone netherrack that makes up most of the landscape. Quartz has a myriad of uses between block crafting and redstone contraptions. Third is nether gold ore, which, unlike its overworld counterpart, breaks into nuggets when mined. There are particular ways to mine this resource efficiently, and you want it because of the next resource, ancient debris. Netherite is the most expensive reason to head to the Nether, and it's the one material that's stronger than diamond. Getting it, however, requires you mine up ancient debris, which is incredibly rare. Then you combine 4 ancient debris with 4 gold ingots to make 1 netherite ingot. That's a lot of work, and ancient debris is rare. So, for full information on finding this material, you'll want to watch the Nether mining guide in this series. So check the description for a link and the playlist. We've covered all the hard, inanimate ores, so now let's cover the more organic spoils. Nether wart, blaze rods, and wither skulls are all highly valuable items found almost exclusively in what are known as nether fortresses. Fortresses are large structures that spawn in all biomes, are composed of nether brick, and mostly made of bridge pathways connecting small rooms. One of those rooms is a stairway garden, which is the home to nether wart, a basic alchemy component that only grows in soul sand. It's advisable you take it home and grow more, as it has multiple uses that rely on having plenty of it. Another room frequently found in nether fortresses has a blaze spawner. Blazes are basically living fires that float around and hurl fireballs at you. Dealing with them is far from easy, but when killed, they can drop blaze rods, which is both an alchemy ingredient and used to create an alchemy crafting station called a brewing stand. For all of the details about alchemy and how it works, you can check the description and the playlist for a separate video about just that. Now, the last thing that comes from nether fortresses are wither skulls. They're dropped by wither skeletons, large charcoal-boned entities who fight with stone swords. They drop skulls infrequently though, so for more details on increasing your odds, there's a separate video dedicated to nether dungeons and everything about them that hasn't been covered here. Past the valuable spoils you search for when exploring the Nether, there are also the biomes that make up the landscape. The various locales of the underworld start with the Nether Wastes, a barren landscape that nearly all other biomes are built on top of. There's also the Soul Sand Valley, a mostly dead area with a bluish tinge to the air and large bone formations on the ground. Then there's the Basalt Delta, which is a latent volcano that almost completely replaces the Nether Wastes. Finally, there are the Crimson and Warped Forests, which are the only lush places in the Fiery Dimension. These two areas are similar with limited differences, but serve as the only ready supply of many basic crafting materials. Now, all of these biomes have a myriad of blocks that have their own uses, but explaining them is best saved for the Nether Biome Guide, where all the details are properly fleshed out. Again, check the description for links. However, there are many special craftables you can build out of the things already covered here. One of the special quirks about the Nether, aside of not being able to place water in the dimension, is how you cannot sleep in a bed. You can certainly try, but it won't end well. This means death in the dimension sends you back to the overworld. This is remedied by building a respawn anchor, which requires 6 crying obsidian and 3 glowstone. There are limited sources for crying obsidian, including busted portals, but piglins are the most reliable. For more information on how to get the bipedal swine to cough any of it up though, check the Nether Mob Guide. Anyway, after crafting and placing the respawn anchor, you must both activate and charge it up with glowstone the same way you place a block, and the maximum charge for an anchor is 4 respawns. Die, and you'll appear at the anchor, and it will lose a charge. Something else to mention is how respawn anchors mirror beds when it comes to interdimensional volatility. In other words, if you try to activate a respawn anchor outside of the Nether, it explodes. The other craftable block from the Nether is one that works in all dimensions and aids in navigation: the lodestone. Lodestones are made of a single netherite ingot surrounded by chiseled stone. If you activate it with a compass, the compass will take on a glowing enchanted effect and always point towards the lodestone it was linked to. The purpose this serves is to specifically help you find your way home across the Nether landscape, as normally compasses taken into the Fiery Dimension will spin wildly, just like clocks. The last craftable from the Nether to mention is Soulfire. This blue flame can be incorporated into torches, lanterns, and campfires with either soul soil or soul sand. For a torch, just add either when crafting and you have a blue flame. Then use those soul torches to make a lantern like you would normally. As for campfires, replace the coal in the recipe with soul sand or soil and you're golden. A word of warning though. Soulfire gives off decidedly less light. so you'll need more of these light sources to spawn-proof anything you build. That's just about everything for a basic rundown of venturing into the Nether. However, there's still plenty more to cover, including building materials from the various biomes, special dungeons called fortresses and bastions, fine details involving safe mining in netherite, and the particular ways to deal with mobs, what they drop, and the secret ways to manipulate them. If you want to know more and learn every little bit of info, check out the playlist on screen for the full host of guides. Until next time, I'm William Strife, and this video was made possible through viewer donations at strife.solutions. If you want to see more guides like this, then please consider contributing, so I can continue making them. Subscribing also helps, and you can also check me out on Twitch, where you'll find my stream schedule. Links in the description. Thanks for watching and listening. I'm William Strife, and I'll see you later.